My father was a detective investigating children in Omaha. After the footage ended, I leaned back in the chair and rubbed my eyes, almost missing the start of the next scene. I looked down to my right and saw I was still on the first tape. Both my father and Hopper were now descending a rounded metal staircase, their feet clattering against the metal steps. Every now and then they would pass a light bulb on the concrete wall. The stairs seemed to go on and on. I could hear them talking, but I couldn't make out any of the words they were saying amongst the rattling noise of their footsteps. When they finally reached the bottom, there were voices on the other side of a large metal door. Hopper opened the door and they walked into what looked like a large tunnel. There, standing on a platform, were several more men in different uniforms and what looked like a small fire crew. All of them were wearing hard hats. One of the men in a blue hard hat spoke to Hopper first. "I can hear them, but it doesn't make sense." The men surrounded a large wooden table with a blueprint laid across it. My father cleared his throat. "Where do you think the children are currently?" One of the firemen moved in closer and pointed to the map for my father. "This area right here. Now if you look over here just about a block away, that's where we are. We can hear the children chatting, whispering to one another. I think they're still trying to hide from us." "Take me there?" Jim asked. The fireman nodded and moved away from the table and blueprint. The whole group followed him down the tunnel. They rounded a corner and eventually they came to a new opening, built right into the side of another large tunnel. In it were several vertical pipes. On the left side and on the right was a single small pipe sticking out of the wall. 3 other men were already inside, talking to each other. The room was no bigger than a bedroom. The fireman paused and then pointed towards the horizontal pipe sticking out of the right side of the wall. "If you listen, you can hear them through that pipe." My father got down on his knees and leaned in, the camera shifting in its place. I could no longer see the pipe itself, but it was tilted at an angle just enough. I could see the other men standing in the room with him, watching. They looked helpless and confused. The first thing I could hear from the footage was giggling, a child's giggle, then a kid's voice telling someone to give it back. My father moved closer to the 8-inch diameter pipe. "Hello, can anyone hear me?" The children continued to giggle and laugh. Sometimes what sounded like words were said, but nothing sounded clear enough to understand. Simmons took his metal flashlight out and banged it hard against the pipe before going silent. "Hello, anyone there?" Simmons yelled. One of the men in blue hats shook his head. His face was bright red as he confronted the rest of the men in the room. "Look, I get that we all can hear them in that pipe, but I'm telling you none of this makes sense." My father got off his knees. "They're in there."